The top stories tonight in Y News. The Armed Forces of the Philippines stands firm that the country has the right to conduct legitimate activities in the West Philippine Sea.
The Department of Trade and Industry shares total investment secured by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. from his foreign trips this year.
A lawmaker in the House of Representatives files a bill seeking to waive charges for small value transactions in electronic wallets and electronic fund transfers.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu pledges to press on with the fight against Hamas militants.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am Joselito Liquido.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Marvi Delfin.
First in the news, the Armed Forces of the Philippines stands firm that the country has the right to conduct legitimate activities in the West Philippine Sea. The AFP said the country is not conducting any activities that will put vessels and seafarers in danger. Nel Maribuhok reports.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, said that the Philippines is not provoking conflict in the South China Sea. This AFP's response to China's accusation that Manila is encroaching on Beijing's territory.
Hindi po tayo nagsisimula ng gulo. Tayo po ay sumusunod sa international law at atin lang ini-implement ang ating domestic law.
On Tuesday, December 26, the Chinese embassy in Manila said the Philippines is causing tensions by sending construction supplies to its grounded Navy vessel in the second Thomas Shoal. AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar said the Philippines is not conducting activities that will put vessels and seafarers in danger.
Sinusunod po natin ang batas. Hindi tayo nagsasagawa ng mga activities na makaglalagay sa panganib sa ibang mga maglalayag. Tulad po ng kanilang ginagawa, nagkakandak sila ng shadowing, nagkakandak sila ng mga dangerous maneuvers, gumagamit pa sila ng water cannon, at minsan nagresulta nga ito sa mga collision at sea. So, lahat po ng mga violations, sila ang may kagagawan.
The military spokesperson said many countries are siding with the Philippines because they acknowledge that the concern of the country is valid and it can help strengthen the implementation of international law. The Philippines regularly deploys resupplying missions for Filipino soldiers living aboard an aging warship deliberately run aground in Ayungin Shoal in 1999 to protect Manila's maritime claims. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
In a move reflecting territorial assertions, the Municipal Council of Kalayaan is urging the use of a specific geographical designation. They advocate for citing features in the West Philippine Sea as the Municipality of Kalayaan Province of Palawan, Republic of the Philippines. Kat Dumaraos tells us why.
Kalayaan Municipal Councilor Maurice Philip Alexis Albaida has authored a resolution emphasizing the Philippines' ownership of certain features in the disputed West Philippine Sea. Notably, Ayungin Shoal and Mischief Reef are highlighted, both falling within the country's exclusive economic zone, or EEZ.
Hindi na-emphasize na merong lehitimong munisipyo na nakakasakop doon sa mga features na yon.
Councilor Albaida's resolution encourages the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, or NUJP, and other media outlets to adopt the designation the Municipality of Kalayaan, Province of Palawan, Republic of the Philippines, when citing features in the West Philippine Sea. This strategic move aims to reinforce the Philippines' territorial claims in the area.
It's for the whole nation na kilalanin na yung mga features dun sa West Philippine Sea particularly doon sa jurisdiction ng PD 1596 ay merong inaangkoran, merong inaangklahang munisipyo kung saan po ito yung munisipyo ng Kalayaan, lalawigan ng Palawan, Republika ng Pilipinas.
Councilor Albaida stressed that this measure is to assert the Philippines' territorial rights in the area.
Unang-una, hindi na siya contested, decided na siya. Pangalawa, dahil meron na tayong munisipyo doon since 1978,
Albaida stresses that this measure is not only about the geographical nomenclature, but also a proactive stance in the face of alleged fake news and disinformation propagated by China. The resolution aligns with the broader effort to combat misinformation and uphold the Philippines' victory in the 2016 International Tribunal ruling on the West Philippine Sea dispute.
Kasi dito malakas ang China ngayon sa disinformation, sa misinformation.
Kat Maraos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has secured investments exceeding 4 trillion pesos from his foreign trips this year. According to the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, there are 148 projects in various investment stages within this substantial portfolio. 20 of these projects have already received approval and registration from the Investment Promotion Agency of the DTI, the Board of Investments, and the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, or PEZA. The majority of these investments come from diverse sectors such as manufacturing, IT BPM, renewable energy, data centers, and telecommunications. The Marcos administration anticipates that the realization of these investments will create thousands of jobs for Filipinos.
As the holiday season unfolds, a significant number of our kababayans heading home to the provinces for vacation continues to flood the ports. According to the Philippine Ports Authority, they've recorded over 1.9 million passenger traffic from December 16 to 25 alone, encompassing various ports nationwide. The surge in passenger numbers is expected to persist until the end of the year, with the PPA anticipating that this influx will surpass their initial forecast of almost 5.1 million passengers throughout the holiday season.
From December 16 hanggang December 25, nakapagtala na po tayo ng 1.9 milyon na pasahero. So, mas marami po ito sa inaasahan natin. Ngayon naman po ang panahon nila para humabol sa biyahe, yung mga hindi umuwi.
An exodus of passengers is anticipated from January 2 to January 5, marking the return of our kababayans who spent the holiday in their respective provinces.
Paalala na lang po sa mga kababayan natin, huwag na po tayong magdala ng mga flammable materials po. At syempre po yung mga paputok, yung mga fireworks, firecrackers, bawal po yan sa barko.
And for the news abroad, tensions escalated in Belgrade, Serbia, as at least 35 demonstrators were arrested on the sixth day of protests that turned violent. The initially peaceful demonstrations were sparked by Serbia's snap general election, which international observers deem unjust due to concerns of media bias, improper influence, intimidation of voters, and cases of vote buying. Protesters attempting to enter the city assembly resorted to breaking windows with flagpoles and rocks, prompting police intervention using riot shields and tear gas to prevent their entry. The snap election was called by the President Aleksandar Vučić, in which the ruling Serbian Progressive Party won 47% of the votes. The members of the Serbia Against Violence coalition joined the protests, accusing President Aleksandar Vučić of election theft and calling for the annulment of the results. President Vučić, in response, urged Serbs not to see the events as a revolution and encouraged a peaceful reaction to avoid harm to random demonstrators. On Monday, 25th of December, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a resolute pledge to continue the fight against Hamas militants. This commitment comes in the aftermath of a somber day for Palestinians mourning the reported loss of over 100 lives in Israeli airstrikes in Gaza overnight. Annie Mancilio will give us the details live. Yes, Annie, good evening.
Good evening, Kathy. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the Israeli troops in the northern Gaza Strip shortly after one of the enclave's deadliest nights in the ongoing 11-week conflict between Israel and Hamas. In response to Hamas' October 7 cross-border attack, urged by its closest ally, the United States, to transition to a less intense phase in Gaza operations and minimize civilian casualties. Netanyahu informed Likud Party lawmakers that the war is ongoing, rejecting media speculation about a potential ceasefire. He emphasized that military pressure is essential for freeing the remaining hostages, asserting that the conflict is far from over. During a Gaza funeral, a procession of Palestinian mourners reached out to touch the white shrouds covering the bodies of over 70 individuals. These casualties were the result of an airstrike in the central Maghazi area of the Strip. Israeli strikes ongoing since hours before midnight and counting into Monday. Health Ministry spokesperson Ashraf Al-Qidra reported that a significant number of those killed in Maghazi were women and children. Additional casualties occurred in Al-Baresh and Al-Nusayra from Israeli air and ground attacks. In Khan Yunis, southern Gaza, an Israeli strike resulted in 23 deaths that brings over to 100. Christian celebrations in Bethlehem were canceled. Instead, Palestinian Christians held a candlelit vigil in solidarity with Gaza. In Gaza, Hamas and Islamic Jihad, holding over 100 hostages, are engaged in conflict with Israel. The death toll in Gaza has risen to nearly 20,700, with 250 reported in the last 24 hours. 2 Israeli soldiers died recently. An airstrike near Damascus killed an Iranian Revolutionary Guard's advisor known as Sayed Razi Mousavi, who was in charge of coordinating the military alliance between Syria and Iran, which supports Hamas in Gaza. The Iranian Revolutionary Guards, in a statement broadcast on Iranian state television, declared that Israel will pay for this crime, prompting threats from Iran. Israel claims operational control in northern Gaza, but fighting persists. Diplomatic efforts for a truce and hostage release show little progress, with Hamas rejecting an Egyptian proposal for a ceasefire. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you, Annie Mancilio, reporting live from Singapore. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Marvi.
Thank you, Kathy. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. A lawmaker in the House of Representatives has filed House Bill number 9749 seeking to waive charges for small value transactions in electronic wallets and electronic fund transfers. The bill aims to increase financial inclusion and foster economic growth. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
A legislative move seeks to reshape the landscape of electronic financial transactions in the country. Cagayan de Oro 1st District Representative Lordan Suwan has filed House Bill number 9749, proposing to waive fees for small value transactions on e-wallets and electronic fund transfers. Based on the bill, small value transactions involving amounts not exceeding 1,000 pesos would be exempt from charges. If enacted into law, all e-wallet providers and electronic fund transfer service providers in the country would be required to waive fees for these small value transactions. This includes activities such as sending money between e-wallet users, depositing and withdrawing from e-wallets, and transferring funds from an e-wallet to a bank account. If the total small value transactions exceed 2,000 pesos, subsequent transactions would incur fees. Notably, a concern has been raised by a small store owner with an e-wallet business, highlighting potential challenges for businesses operating on thin profit margins.
Wala naman mag-wallet yan dahil maliit na tindahan. Kasi kami, hindi na namin bigyan ng pansin kasi baga abala na lang din sa amin yon.
On the other hand, individuals like Belen who uses e-wallets to pay utilities express support for the bill.
Mas maganda po kasi makakatulong po yun sa amin. Dagdag din po ng puhunan namin yun. Kasi po pag araw-araw na ganun lagi, malaking kabawasan din po sa puhunan namin.
Congressman Suwan underscores that e-wallets offer a convenient and affordable alternative to traditional banking. He believes that by waiving fees for small transactions, there will be a wider adoption, particularly among low-income individuals, ultimately contributing to increased financial inclusion and fostering economic growth. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Transport Group Piston is making headlines as it gears up for its last transport strike of 2023. This move comes just ahead of the looming franchise consolidation deadline set for December 31. JP Nunez will tell us why.
As the government designates December 31 as the final day for franchise consolidation under the Public Utility Vehicle Modernization Program or PUVMP, the Transport Group Piston is contemplating another transport strike before the looming deadline. Its National President Modi Floranda reveals that Piston plans to initiate a strike starting tomorrow, commencing with their local members in Iloilo and Bacolod. Successive strikes are anticipated in Rojas City, Cebu City, and Southern Tagalog in the coming days.
Karalan po natin bago dumating ng December 31, magkakaroon po din ng isang malaking pagkilos.
Despite the approaching deadline, Piston remains hopeful that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. might reconsider his stance before December 31.
Maano po tayo na makita mismo ni PBBM yung kahalagahan ng sektor ng ating public transport. Dapat makita ni PBBM na kapag nawala yung sektor ng public transport sa branch ng January.
However, if the deadline persists, their last resort is placing their faith in a temporary restraining order that they hope the Supreme Court will issue against the PUV modernization program. Piston issues a stern warning about a potential transport crisis come January 1, emphasizing that approximately 35,000 operators and jeepney drivers in Metro Manila alone are at risk of losing their jobs. Interestingly, some operators confess that they were compelled to consolidate due to the fear of discontinuation of franchise renewal.
Napilitan kami dahil yung hindi maire-register sa sasakyan mo, hanap buhay mo. Pagka hindi mo naparehistro to, di bala. Pag inilabas mo na ito, huhulihin ka ng LTO dahil walang rehistro eh.
Notice na siya kasi nga natatakot nga pagdating ng January, malamang mahuli na kami kasi wala na kami prangkisa eh. Hindi kami naka-membro sa co-op. Kaya wala siya nagawa kundi magpa-consolidate sa co-op.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police, or PNP, issues a warning against the use of illegal firecrackers. The PNP Firearms and Explosives Office, or the PNP FEO, specifically cautions the public against dangerous firecrackers such as the so-called Goodbye Hamas.
Mas malaki pa po sa cooking can. Kung mapapansin niyo po yon, mga parang D4 na po na tubo na ang kanyang laki. So hindi po talaga yon pwede. Kahit mga ari-arian kayang sirain po, napakadelikado po. Dahil unang-una po, yung pulbura na inilagay doon, talagang napakarami. 0.2 grams lang po dapat ang nakakarga po sa mga paputok.
Emphasizing public safety, the PNP FEO is collaborating with the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group to crack down on online sellers of prohibited firecrackers. In lieu of these potentially hazardous items, the office recommends other sound-producing materials as alternatives to firecrackers such as trumpets.
bumili po tayo doon sa may mga lisensyado lamang na mga paputok. Wag po natin tangkilikin yung mga ipinagbabawal na paputok.
The Bureau of Fire Protection has elevated its status to Code Red Alert since December 23. This means that vacations and leaves for their personnel are canceled until January 1 of the coming year. According to the BFP spokesperson Fire Superintendent Adli Atienza, they aim to have their personnel at full capacity to promptly respond to fire incidents during the holiday season. They have also intensified inspection of manufacturers and sellers of fireworks.
We are on red alert. Code red po ang buong pwersa ng Bureau of Fire Protection, kung saan tayo po ay patuloy pa rin naman ang ating activities on fire prevention, increasing the level of awareness ng ating community. Lahat po, tayo po ay kailangang rumisponde in case kailanganin po ang ating serbisyo. Wala po allowed na naka-leave ngayong panahon na ito dahil nga po kailangan full force ang ating buong puwersa ng Bureau of Fire Protection.
In an effort to enhance public safety, BFP personnel will be deployed in crowded areas to provide an additional sense of security to the public. This heightened alert status is an increase compared to the same period last year.
However, nito pong dumaan ang December 24 hanggang ngayong araw, magandang balita po ito na zero fire incident po tayo pagdating po sa firecrackers. At panalangin po talaga natin, panatilihin na po natin itong zero fire incident hanggang pumasok ang 2024.
And in other global news, in central Nigeria, the local government has recorded a tragic toll of 113 lives following a series of relentless attacks by armed groups. Monday, Kaza, the acting chairman of the Baucus National Local Government area in Plateau State, revealed that the attacks were well coordinated, targeting around 20 different communities. However, Kaza did not specify the responsible party for this. Attacks and the Plateau police have not provided any comments on the matter. Terrorism has long plagued northwest and central Nigeria, with bandit militias operating from the mountains, attacking villages to loot and kidnap residents for ransom. Alongside the reported fatalities, there have been instances of homes being set ablaze by the attackers. Approximately 300 individuals were also found injured in the aftermath, compelling residents to flee their homes to escape the violence that has befallen their communities. A conflict marked by conflicting claims and narratives on the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. In the latest development, Russia asserts a military success with the capture of Marinka, a claim that stands in stark contrast to the official denial from Kyiv. Paul Gatchalian will tell us why.
Russia asserts a significant military triumph, declaring the seizure of the eastern Ukrainian town of Marinka, situated just southwest of the Russian-held regional capital of Donetsk, once home to 10,000 people. The announcement came on Monday during a video exchange between Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and President Vladimir Putin. Putin, considering this a noteworthy success, sees it as an opportunity for Russian troops to expand their operational area. In a display of recognition, Putin offers to award soldiers who distinguish themselves in the battle. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu shares the news with Putin during the video exchange, and images of the damaged town are broadcasted on Russian television, showcasing the aftermath through drone footage. However, the Ukrainian military vehemently denies the claim, asserting that their forces remain within the city. The timing of this development is particularly challenging for Kyiv, as it grapples with a struggle to make gains on the ground and faces a decline in Western support. Russian troops had been escalating ground and air attacks on the nearby town of Aditka since mid-October, intensifying their push through the eastern Donbas region. In a simultaneous development, Ukraine's Air Force reports shooting down 2 Russian fighter jets, along with 2 cruise missiles and 28 Shahed-type kamikaze drones during the night. Paul Gatchalian, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Taiwan has not observed any large-scale military activity from China in the lead-up on the upcoming elections next month. Taiwan is preparing for both presidential and parliamentary elections events that will significantly shape the country's relationship with Beijing. Over the past 4 years, China has consistently exerted military pressure on Taiwan due to its sovereignty claims, and those are reasons. And as the election drew near, there had been reports of Chinese fighter jets, warships, and even balloons crossing the Taiwan Strait. However, the Taiwanese military suggests that these activities may be related to weather monitoring. Currently, Taiwan, under the watchful eye of Defense Ministry spokesman Sun Lifang, remain vigilant, closely monitoring every move made by China. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Kathy Navarro, live from Vietnam. Good evening.
The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, is not expecting the formation of any tropical cyclone until the end of 2023. According to PAG-ASA, the prevailing weather systems in the region are characterized by easterlies and northeast monsoon. While these conditions may bring light to moderate rains over northern and central Luzon, including Metro Manila and southern Luzon, particularly the Bicol region, the absence of tropical cyclones is a notable aspect of the current weather patterns. In a year where only 11 tropical cyclones entered the Philippine area of responsibility, PAG-ASA attributes this phenomenon to the effects of the El Niño phenomenon.
So hopefully, wala po tayong monitor na sama ng panahon hanggang sa matapos po itong 2023.
According to PAG-ASA, while there have been few storms entering the Philippine area of responsibility, the southwest monsoon or the Habagat and the northeast monsoon or the Amihan have played a crucial role in raising waters levels in dams.
Ibig sabihin, meron tayong 33 meters na kukonsumin bago natin ma-reach yung low water level. Hanggat meron tayong tinatawag na amihan, siguradong may mga mamumuong pag-ulan dyan.
Tonight marks the 10th installment of the Wish Date concert titled Wish Date Invisible, taking place at the Smart Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. Dedicated wishers have traveled from different provinces to witness this exciting event. Though the Wish Date Invisible concert kicked off at 7:30 in the evening, fans couldn't contain their excitement. They braved the traffic and arrived as early as 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Big Dome.
Actually, taga Pangasinan po kami. And then, gumising po kami ng maaga around 5 a.m. po. From Pangasinan po and then from Manila po, bumiyahe po kami, lalo na po ngayon, traffic and then peak season po. Dito po, nakarating po kami dito ng around 3. Inaabangan ko po ang GG Vibes, lalo na po para super fan po ako ng band po nila. Since nung matagal na po since nung nag-uumpisa pa lang si GG, talagang inaabangan ko na po siya.
The highlight of the evening is a short film narrating a tale of love beyond the eyes can see. The film features Ira Mariano, Kate Yalong, E.A. Guzman, and Chris Abaya, with a special appearance by seasoned actress Daria Ramirez. Adding musical spectacle to the night, the Big Dome will resonate with OPM songs as Gigi and the Gigi Vibes, Army Milyare, South Border, Piñel, and SI Belaño take the stage for electrifying performances.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity. From Monday to Friday, 9:30 p.m. Philippine time, through the social media accounts of the Members Church of God International.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God. From the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 20, it says, "For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ." And those are the reasons behind the news December 26, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Marvi Delfin, live from Australia.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am Joselito Liquido, live from Malaysia. We serve the people, we give glory to God.